Welcome to the chapters 8 and 9 that focus on the product P of the marketing mix. In this chapter, we will look at the various product classes and how the nature of the product can impact the marketing mix. We will look at the differences between marketing of goods versus services and discuss issues related to branding of a product or service. The job of managing a product over its life cycle, that includes both strategic decisions as well as everyday operational decisions, is typically handled by someone called a product manager, also sometimes referred to as a brand manager. Here are some examples of some product managers in the Grand Rapids area. Here's Mark, here's Ken, and here is Jason. Jason was actually my student at Seidman a few years back. Very proud of him. So before the product manager takes decisions on the various aspects of the product P of the marketing mix, he has to consider the nature of his product. You read about these in the text. Sorry about that. Is it an unsought product, a convenience product, or some other type of product? The marketing mix will need to be fine-tuned for each type of product. For unsought products such as insurance, blood donations, dentists, life insurance, etc., people don't want to buy these unless really forced to. So a strong personal selling and creative effort is to be made to create demand for such products, which is not the case with other product classes. Regarding convenience products, consumers need these products but are not willing to spend a lot of time or effort shopping for them. So ready availability is very important, and hence intensive distribution and efficient logistics is the key to success for such products. Similarly, specialty products are branded products that consumers insist on by name. Customers really are willing to make a special effort to find the product if need be. It is the customer's willingness to search that makes a difference. He may or may not need to search. Extremely loyal customers make a specialty product. So Harley-Davidson motorbikes, Apple products, brands of personal care, cosmetics that people are loyal to. Marketers want their customers to view their brand as a specialty product, but not everyone succeeds. So one key job of product managers of specialty products is to maintain customer loyalty and keep their brand that way, and create and nurture customer communities that become increasingly passionate and devoted to the brand. It is very different from the marketing mix of an unsought or a convenience product. So I hope you get the point. The second thing the product manager needs to consider is the service component of his product. Is it 100% product or 100% service, or somewhere in the middle? Because the marketing mix is impacted as the service component increases. So let's look at how services are different and how that impacts the marketing efforts of the product manager. So here are the 4 unique characteristics of services that the product manager would need to address in his marketing mix. Intangibility means that you can't touch, see, or evaluate a service the way you can do with a product. So you have to find ways to make your offering more tangible through means such as showing pictures of customers having good times, of the good, exciting service environment offered by the company, etc. Give customers quality cues, arrange referrals for prospective customers, etc. These things help reduce the problem of intangibility of services. Variability means that the quality of the service varies depending on who is providing the service. Since services are often highly people-driven businesses, you might get a great haircut at Great Clips one time and get a terrible haircut next time because some other hairstylist worked on your hair. This is the common problem. And how should the marketer handle it? The marketers should try to make quality of the service as consistent as possible. And hence, employee training and certifications play an important role. Employees also need to be motivated and remunerated for attaining consistency. The third problem is that of inseparability. Services are often produced and consumed simultaneously where the customer is, unlike goods that can be manufactured and stored and distributed. The human service provider and the client are both an important part of the service, and they impact the outcome, and hence their interaction is a very special feature of services marketing. So for a good service experience, controlling the interaction of the two and also the environment is important for service quality. That is why companies carefully lay down and control the service processes and the environment for a good customer experience. And that requires resources. Just to give you a very close example, if the environment is not controlled and for example, students in a classroom, they are playing with cell phones in class, casually browsing on the internet, etc., it will likely spoil the service experience for everyone in the classroom. And the last issue is perishability. Services cannot be stored like products, and if not used on time, they perish, they die. It is said that the most expensive thing in a restaurant is an empty seat that just got wasted. And the same holds true for an empty room in a hotel, which if not filled, goes waste for the hotel. So for managing perishability, matching of supply and demand is very important, so that the service capacity does not go waste. That is why you will notice restaurants have happy hours so that people fill up seats when the seats are usually not being occupied, or airlines and hotels selling last-minute tickets on Priceline at significantly lower prices just to fill up seats. So managing all these issues is one of them are important responsibilities of the product manager. These are another set of decisions that a product manager must take. What will be the product mix, how long the product line will be, how many products in a product line, etc. So here are some quick notes on product mix, product line, product width that you read about in the text. Product mix width: more the product lines offered by the company, more is the product mix width. More the number of products in a product line, higher is the product line depth. And here is an example that clarifies these terms. Campbell's product mix comprises 5 product lines, and each product line varies in length, the one for soup being the longest, or in other words, has the most depth, and the beverages being the shortest. A product manager constantly juggles with these decisions related to the product. Another set of decisions that the product manager must take relate to branding. We know what's meant by a brand name, and a trademark from the text. Strong branding is an extremely important responsibility of product managers, and it is often said, brand is a bundle of promises. It lays down exactly what value the customers can expect to get from the product. And this is related to value of the brand, which we will talk about next. So this is the continuum on which any given brand can be placed from the customer's perspective. If a product manager is effective, most of the customers will be in the inner circle. That is, they will insist to buy the product over and over again. However, if the product manager is ineffective, then the outer circles are more common, those of non-recognition, people don't recognize the brand, and sometimes brand rejection, they just don't want it. So how do we know whether the brand manager is effective? Is there an objective and quantitative measure to gauge a product manager's performance? Yes, there is. It's the concept of brand equity. We already know that brand equity is the value of a brand in monetary terms to its current owners. But who measures the brand equity of popular brands? Well, Interbrand, the world's largest brand consultancy, calculates the brand equity of leading brands every 2 years in the survey Best Global Brands. Clients like Procter & Gamble, Wrigley's, Wendy's, Xerox, BMW, it is a who's who of business. So Interbrand is one of the, not one, is the leading brand consulting company in the world. How does Interbrand calculate the brand equity? As you can see, it considers 3 factors. First, financials, how much money the brand helps the company make. Second, the branded earnings, how much extra money or effort the customers are willing to sacrifice for buying the brand over an unbranded alternative product. And third, the strength of the brand as reflected in customer loyalty, brand extension, etc. The more loyal the customers are, and the more the brand can be extended to other products, the more valuable it is. You can follow this link and check out the most valuable brands if you want, right here in 2015. You can also visit Interbrand's website if you're interested. The most valuable brand in the world, any guesses? Well, yes, it's Apple, followed by Google and Coca-Cola. Do you know how much Apple is worth? Only the brand, not the company and its infrastructure. If you were to buy the exclusive rights to use the Apple brand, not the company or offices or factories, just the right to use the brand name, to own the brand name, you will need to pay, hold your breath, you will need to pay $170 billion. That is the brand equity of Apple brand as calculated by Interbrand. And yes, the world agrees. And you know why this figure is important? It's important because firms can now put the brand value as an asset on the balance sheet of the company. So every time you are taking the right decisions in the marketplace, you're actually directly contributing to the firm financials, even though the return as profits has not started showing yet. So to sum it all up, what brand managers do to enhance brand equity has tremendous implications for their companies. Related to branding, as you read about in the text, brand managers have 4 broad choices, and they can go either of these 4 ways depending on their unique situation. The first choice a brand manager has is to go in for generic branding. In other words, not having any brand at all. Brand building takes a lot of effort and resources, and if you're good at making something but don't want to take up the hassle of brand building, then you can manufacture and sell your products to another company which has a brand of its own. In other words, you become a supplier to a company such as, say, Nike, in case you make shoes. This, of course, is a low effort, low returns approach. Second option is to license an already successful brand and use it for your product. In other words, become a licensee and in return pay a license fee to the licensor company. For example, if you manufacture school bags, you can license the Walt Disney brand and use it. By the way, Walt Disney is the most successful licensed brand in the world and generates close to $40 billion in sales just by licensing its brand to other product manufacturers. Third and the fourth options involve doing your own branding, but they are 2 very different approaches, and companies often take one approach or another. In the family branding approach, the firm uses the same brand for all of its products. A company that does it successfully is General Electric. It is into scores of businesses, but all of them are named GE. GE Power, GE Aviation, GE Healthcare, GE Capital, GE Home Appliances, GE Financial Services, etc., etc. The good thing in this approach is that you can use GE's existing goodwill across various businesses. The bad part is that if one business goes bad, it reflects on others too. And lastly, in the individual branding approach, the firm uses different brand names for different products it offers. And a company that does it very successfully is 3M. You might have heard of it. The stick-on pads it makes are branded Post-it notes. The furnace filter that 3M makes for households are branded Filtret. The kitchen scrubbers are branded Scotch-Brite. The fabric protection coating is branded Scotch Guard. Its personal healthcare products, they are branded NextCare, and so on. The downside to this approach is that 3M has to put in the extra effort at building each brand. The upside is that each brand is well focused and has a clear positioning in customers' minds. And if one brand performs poorly, others are not affected at all. Thus, depending on a firm's